Hi, and welcome to our Tree-riffic virtual show and tell. My name is Laura Askell. I'm the Ag Ed Farm Manager with Metro Parks of Butler County, stationed here at beautiful Chisholm Historic Farmstead. Do you know what today's topic is? Trees! Big, beautiful trees! And we have some fun activities planned about our awesome trees and of course the live animal demonstration at the end. Let's go!
If someone asks you what a tree is, what do you say? It's not as clear-cut as you would think. Although there are some exceptions, generally most trees grow taller than other kinds of plants. Trees have woody roots, trunks, and limbs that provide that physical support that's needed for them to grow so tall. And in fact, the tallest living organism on the earth is a redwood tree that lives in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. They can grow more than 350 feet tall. Trees have one main woody trunk that supports that entire tree, as opposed to shrubs and bushes that often have many woody stems. Some of the oldest living organisms on the earth are the bristlecone pine trees, over 4,500 years old. Now, trees are perennials, which means they live for many seasons. They may become dormant during the winter, like our deciduous trees lose their leaves, but the parts of the trees are still alive. Now, why are trees so important to us? Well, there are many reasons. Obviously, besides they are an important natural resource, they produce oxygen for us to breathe. Also, most construction includes some kind of wood product. We also get different kinds of food from the trees. And if you watch our ABCs of Farm Life, letter A and B, you'll learn all about the apple tree. We extract energy from them. They take our carbon dioxide and make oxygen for us. They also help to keep the soil from eroding, which is very important. And they also provide food for animals, different kinds of seeds, and even flowers that are pollinated by our insects. And last but not least, they provide habitat for a variety of different animals, like our pileated woodpeckers, the black rat snake, and of course the raccoons.
Do you know how to tell how old a tree is? One of the ways to do it is by counting the growth rings. Each year is one growth ring. For example, if you were a tree and we cut it down and you count the rings on it and there were 5 rings, that would mean you were 5 years old. So for example, I want all of you to do what we call the tree growth ring activity. Find a paper plate and write rings on there for every year that you are old. So if you are 5 years old, your plate will look like this. There are 5 rings on this plate. So if you were a tree, you'd be 5 years old. Now, Allison Ernst, who's one of our outdoor educators, she drew her tree growth ring activity. And you see all the lines on this plate? There's over 27 lines on this plate. So that shows how old she is. Now, I have to be honest with you. I tried to do mine and I ran out of room because I have a lot more rings than this plate right here because I'm over 50. So I think if I was going to do it, I'd have to make my circle a lot bigger. So have fun with your tree growth ring activity. So now for this habitat activity, I want you to print off the front and the back page. And I want you to color them. And then very carefully look at your front page and you're going to see some squares and rectangles that have some dotted lines. And you're going to carefully cut out the dotted line. But do not cut the solid line, because you're going to fold the paper on that solid line, that square or that rectangle on the sheet. You're going to bend it up. It's going to make a flap, kind of like a window or a door. Because then you're going to take your front page and your second page, and you're going to staple it together, like I did here. Here's my front page, my back page. And notice where I cut out, they are now little windows. So you have the outside of the tree, and look it looks like a barn owl living on the inside of the tree, right? So that's why you only cut 3 of the 4 lines to make your windows and your flaps. Have fun, everyone. So today we have a very special guest star whose name is Cake, aka Piece of Cake, who is owned by Claudia Whitaker. And Cake is a thoroughbred racehorse, and he's the biggest animal that we've ever had as a special guest star for our virtual show and tell, so that's very exciting. Now, he has retired from racing and has He was a sprinter, not a long distance runner. And he has gone through what's called the New Vocations Program. It's an extensive rehabilitation therapy program for racehorses so they can be adopted out into the public. Because by nature, a racehorse has different disciplines than would be a pleasure horse or even a show horse. Now, Cake was born in 2008, and his grandfather is secretary at Cake. Let's go visit Cake out there on the farm.
So here is Cake with his best friend Jebediah playing out in the field. Claudia says that Cake has a willing to learn attitude. He's very smart, muscular, and a very playful nature. He's also very just silly and lovable too. Notice what he's wearing on his legs? Thoroughbreds are unfortunately known for not having the best hooves, so he has to wear those when he's showing. Cake started his first 3 years with the Whitaker family as a hunter jumper, earning high marks in all of his competitions. Then Claudia's daughter wanted him to do dressage. What is that? Basically, it's horse dancing, choreographed to music. He is doing exceptionally well in this new chapter of his life, too. Because of thoroughbreds' high energy and large bodies, they need constant care. Lots of exercise, feed, and water. Hay and the stalls need to be cleaned out every single day. Horses must have their teeth worked on and upkeep on their vaccinations, along with lots of exercise. Did I mention that? Claudia says they wouldn't trade Cake for anything in the world, and he is a member of the family.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Tree-riffic virtual show and tell. Hope you enjoyed learning about our valuable trees, and you can go out and give a tree a big hug, but do it safely, of course. Our next show and tell is not going to be virtual. Instead, we are going to resume our on-site programming face-to-face here at Chisholm Historic Farmstead. So please go to our website at yourmetroparks.net and pre-register for this free program for all ages. It is scheduled for May the 2nd, which is a Sunday, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. here at the farm. We will be doing our Let's Grow a Pizza show and tell. We ask that everyone wear a mask and or social distance, and we will be underneath and around the outdoor shelter that we have here. So be prepared for an hour of fun and some take-home items so that you can start your own pizza garden. Thanks everyone, and we hope to see you back in the parks.